Okay, this is Reality Supreme Being again on May the 16th. 4 days away from my stuff getting ready to be auctioned off in the city of Ventura. Two 30-foot containers, one of them containing all the stuff from my burnt house. People watching this, you're all poor, you can't help me. No, rich people are watching this, and nobody gives a hell. I've done more than 45 videos, I believe. You know, it's very depressing to know that there's nobody out there that gives a damn. And maybe that's why I sound angry and upset, because I already knew that. I knew that all along. No matter how much I try, you people don't care. There's nobody in LA who's come forward and say, hey, look, I got a warehouse, it's hidden, it's out of the way. Let me, you got steady money every month, I won't charge you much, maybe $300-400 a month. You can put all your stuff there. Whatever vehicles you have left, you can hide there. You know, no protection. This is an evil country. It's an evil country with evil people, evil laws. And they are. I had a real hard time getting up this morning because I suffer from situational depression, which is something that is caused on a person. It's not something that naturally occurs in me. It's when I'm living in a society that has raped me of every possession, every piece of property, and forced me, instead of having my stuff on wheels, so if somebody doesn't want me somewhere, I just put the key in the ignition and drive it all away. It's already loaded up. I don't have to unload it and reload it up like I've been doing the last 2 years, which is killing me. And nobody cares. And anybody that does care, you don't have millions of dollars in your pocket. So unless you got millions of dollars on your pocket and you're willing to give some to me, then, you know, don't leave a comment. It doesn't matter. You can't help me. Poor people cannot help poor people. Hell, I'll use one of the Bible statements. I think Christ once said, and like I said, you know, you heard me in other videos, I'm an agnostic. I'm a doubting Thomas. Either you prove it to me right now physically, or there ain't no God. There ain't no devil. The only devils are people. People and their asinine laws. Anyway, so I have to have proof. But Christ did, like Buddha, Christ, Muhammad, they all did say very wise things. One of the things Christ said is you can't remove the law, the sty out of someone else's eye when you can't remove the log out of your own eye. So the blind can't lead the blind. It's like a virtual impossibility. Unless you're in a position of great wealth, great power, and you hear my recordings and you say, you know, this guy was done wrong, his civil rights were violated, there are no civil rights attorneys, he had nothing, he tried like hell, and all he did was lose years, young years out of his life. Years that you people stole from me. Your collective evil American society stole from me. So when I say things like, hey, I give all power to Al-Quaeda, except for one thing. Al-Quaeda is not what you think it is. It's not what the media tells you it is. Remember that book I told you, Addicted to War, in my last 2 or 3 videos? Frank Dorrell wrote it. Read that book over and over again and get that branded in your brain, because that is the truth. Your enemies are the banks, DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the assholes. You know, I don't see Al-Qaeda blowing their houses up. I don't see them blowing the Bilderberg group up. I don't see them blowing Rockefeller or anybody of those people. No, the government has the media, the controlled media, telling you, be careful in the shopping malls. The Al-Qaeda is going to come and kill all these, civilians? Or are they doing it because we kill civilians in Nagasaki and Hiroshima in World War II? Is that why they're doing it? No, that's not why they're doing it. You know why they're doing it? Because Al-Qaeda is false. I have a message for Al-Qaeda. I'm the new Osama bin Laden. I have been all along, because I predicted the 9/11 attack 7 years before it happened. The White House knows it. They have a giant 3-foot wide, 13-foot long letter that spelled out cryptically how they were going to attack the World Trade Center. And it said specifically on 9/11 it was going to attack with airplanes. Now either they used that as a blueprint. They took my idea and used it, my prediction, which was really an idea, and used it as a blueprint to do what they did to the Twin Towers. And by the way, the Twin Towers were originally owned by the Rockefellers. So, you know, This isn't real. Al-Qaeda should be bombing DuPont, Rockefellers. They should be doing them the damage. The civilians don't care. We're just living day to day, practically being told what to do, told how much the price of gas is. You know, the free business enterprise system, which is a big lie. And as long as you people are duped and putting your money in the banks, you know what would happen if you listened to me? You'd do worse than Al-Qaeda could ever do. If every American citizen, more than 100 million of them, went to the banks and took all their money out on one day, I guarantee you the whole government would come to their knees. Oh, please don't do that. Please don't. Why? It's our money. You know what they would do when that started? They'd shut the banks down and wouldn't let the people get their money. That's what they'd do. These people are evil and they need to be taught a lesson. And the only way you're going to do it is not pay your taxes and take your money out of the bank. Screw them. You don't even know who you're voting for. Do they pass a civil service exam to prove that they're worthy of that job? Or even worthy to run for that job? No. What this is a conspiracy that's been ongoing for years. A conspiracy against the rich, against the poor and downtrodden, against the people whose civil rights have been violated. What this is about is a war against the blacks, the whites, the Asians, the Indians, name the races. It doesn't matter. You're all one race. And what it boils down to is this is a war against the rich and the poor. Why do you think they came after me? Why do you think they burnt my house at DeSoto and Hart? Why do you think that they have me blacklisted on every national news channel? You know, in the last election, I got interviewed by the BBC, radio stations overseas. I got interviewed by Mark and Brian here. All they did was made fun of me because I said I wanted to run president and change things. You know, they didn't ask one important question that had to deal with any changes. And by the way, when I was on those programs, those are limited programs. They are never broadcast on national news. Why? Because the Bilderberg, the Trilateral, and the rich money interest are telling you lies. They control the media, and they say what gets aired on the air and what gets printed in the newspaper. And if you don't believe me, try to do what I've done. They've stolen 30 years out of my life. So you know what? For all you people that are working for Al-Qaeda supposedly, how much money are they paying you under the table to do these bombings and stuff that you've been doing? Because I know you're living like kings and queens someplace under assumed names, just like Osama was living in that compound right under the nose of everybody. You know what makes sense here? The United States of America, when they won World War II, imported the Nazis here. By doing that, they imported the karma of the Nazis into American integrity. And what they did was create a whole slew of hybrid Nazis. And that is what's running America now. The Nazis never lost the war. They're running your country right now through the money, through the heartaches, through the conspiracies, through the tangled webs that they and dramas that they weave. They control you just like they controlled me. And you're listening to the truth right now. But you know what? There's only going to be 5, 10 people that will listen to me. And they'll go off living their very... what's the word? It's even escaping me right now. Naive. Living their super naive existence. Because that's what you do. You're already a whore. You already work for the system. You are bought and paid for. They've got you by every which way you can imagine. You like your cell phone, you like your SUVs, you like, even though you bitch about the gas prices, you still have the money, you still have a job, so you can put gas in there and feed this crazy, I can't even remember the word. I guess I'd call it I think I had a term for laws once. I call them, besides civil right abuse, I call them vicious cycle laws. But you have a vicious cycle existence of contradiction here in the United States. And all you do is take things from people. You took my cars, my boats, my motorhomes. You took my chance to move out of California to my own 40 acres in Colorado. Not once, twice you did it. Okay? And now are you happy? My teeth are broken now from the stress, from grinding my teeth. I get in comments from people who are poor like me, and I thank you very much for the comments about using silica for your teeth, this and that, whatever. But no one's sending any money to undo the damage that the United States of America and the county of Los Angeles and the city of Los Angeles did damage to me. Multiple civil rights damages over and over again, and nobody gives a hell. So you know, when the next earthquake, I said this before, when the next earthquake happens, I'm just going to break out a bottle of champagne, put it on ice, and sip my champagne away, and I don't drink while I hear people dying around me, because I ain't going to dig you out. And if I'm buried, good. Let me die, because you people already murdered me. You murdered 30 years of my life and gave me nothing in return except heartache and grief and moving my stuff every month from place to place, because I have no stable place that I can put my possessions in. Not my cars, my boats, my motorhomes. You took everything that I worked for 30 years to gather up so I could move out of the state. Then you trapped me here, forced me to move, park my stuff every which way I could find, and then I finally ran out of places to park things because building and safety has built a climate of fear where there are so many conflicting laws that you literally take everything from everybody, like you did when you came onto my property and towed all my stuff off of my property. You impounded my stuff off private property. In any other country, if you'd stepped on my property, they would have shot you, and nobody would have done anything. But you don't have that here. Instead, you would have killed the person who did the shooting or arrested them and threw them in jail and impounded everything anyway. You're the evil people because you're letting it happen. You allowed this to happen. You contribute because you're a collective American citizen and you allow this crap to go on. And until you make the bombs, you know, the Unabomber wanted to destroy all the advertising people. It isn't just advertising. The gimmicks are inside the media, inside the rich people's pockets. You people are bought and paid for. Until you wake up, no matter how secure you think you are allowing your guard down. And that is dangerous for you and your family. You should fight back, take your money out of the banks, tell the government to go to hell, tell them you're not going to pay any taxes ever again, tell them to go screw themselves. Until they get somebody like me to get in there and show you, the country, how to safeguard the country. And the first place you need to start is by having civil service exams for these lousy ass politicians. Not money's going to get you, no signatures, a civil service exam, and the test results published in the paper every election so everybody knows how smart and stupid the people are that ran for mayor or governor or president or any other office. Judges especially. They're such crooks, and the lawyers, they're crooks along with them. They have a fast track system for the local courts, but they don't have a fast track system for the Supreme Court, which when there are multiple civil rights violations that have happened to me, the statute of limitation runs out long before I could get it into a court anywhere, because there are no civil rights attorneys. Oh, I filed cases. Trust me, there's tons of proof out there. My cases are out there that I filed and were dismissed for the most ridiculous reasons. So you think about this. You go home, you think at night that every person that you do damage to, you're, even in the tiniest way, you're getting bad karma from it. So when something bad happens to your family and your little boy gets run over in the street and you wonder why, trust me, there's a higher power involved here, and that's why it happened. That's why any bad thing happens to good people, because you people are allowing these jerk-off SOBs to stay in office and be in control. You need to take them out of the loop, take the Joint Chiefs out of the loop, put the military under my command so I can tell the soldiers, this is how you're going to win the war against terrorism, and it's going to be done my way, this way, and no one can challenge my authority, because the president is just a pawn, a puppet. Every politician is a puppet in this country. Trust me, they're all liars.